If you have just been using WalletHub to check your credit score, you are missing out. You can budget with WalletHub for free. Today, I'm going to show you how. Hey there, I'm Brittany Flammer, certified financial coach and the creator of Fit Finance Club. There are 5 different types of budgets you can use within WalletHub, and I'm going to show you how to use each of them, as well as some additional budgeting features at the end. If you want to give WalletHub a try, use my link in the description box below. You can use it for free, or you can try the premium version for free for 14 days. Once you're in WalletHub, under the spending tab, you want to choose budget. This is going to take you to the different budgeting types. All 5 budgeting types are going to show you a summary in the top right-hand corner. This is showing you your total income, total expenses, your net income after everything. Let's go ahead and get started with the first budgeting type, the simple budgeting type. And this is just like it sounds. This is the simplest form of budgeting. With this method, you simply enter in your anticipated income and your anticipated expenses, and that's really all you have to do. At the very top corner, it's going to show you how much you have left to budget based on your budgeted amount. Now, if you look inside the budget, there are going to be groups or buckets. They start with income, debt payments, financial, shopping. There are roughly 15 groups. If you click view more, you can view all of the categories, and then down below you can manage the categories. This is where you can go in and hide or delete different categories that you don't want showing up. Now, if you'll notice in the budget, for all of these categories, there is no budgeted column. There's just an actual column. So as you spend money, as transactions come in and get categorized, it's going to show you how much you've actually spent in each category. But it's not focusing on the nitty-gritty. You do not have to categorize how much you're budgeting for each category. You are simply looking at your expenses as a total. To edit your income and expenses, your budgeted amount, you go up to the summary in the top right-hand corner and just type in how much you plan, what your income you think is going to be, and what your expenses you think are going to be. The goals are automatically determined when you create savings goals. So you cannot edit those up here. You have to go into your savings goals and edit them there. Next type is the pay yourself first budgeting type. This budget has less buckets or less groups than the first one did, and you're going to start with your savings. After income, they have your debt, then it's your savings, then fixed expenses, everyday expenses, and then a miscellaneous group. It starts with savings. It moves savings up to the top because you're paying yourself first. You're prioritizing your savings over other things. You can add buckets or groups if you want, and you can add subcategories in each of those groups. At the bottom, once again, you can manage your categories. With this budget, you've got the summary up top, but you cannot edit the summary. The way you use this budget is inside of the budget. For each group or bucket, you can have a total budgeted amount for the entire group. So for example, if my fixed expenses are set at $2,000, I can change that to $3,000 or $4,000 or whatever my fixed expenses are going to be. Below it, there are all of the different categories, but there's no budgeted amount for those categories. As the transactions come in, they will show up your actual spending in those categories, but you are focusing on the group. And once you change something in the budget here, if you change the group like the fixed expenses, it will show up in the summary. It will populate over there. The one exception to this is the debt and the savings groups. You can change each of your savings goals. You can change them in the budget there, as well as your debt. But the rest of the categories, it's just the group you are budgeting for. Now let's move on to the envelope budgeting. Once again, the summary on the top hand right is there. You cannot edit it. Inside the budget, there are groups. You only see a few until you click to show all of them. This is just like the pay yourself first, but there are more buckets. And once again, you budget for the entire group. You set the budget for each group. There are just a lot more groups than there were in the pay yourself first. Once you enter in a budgeted amount for each group, it will automatically reflect in the summary. Also with this one, if you scroll down, click see all categories, you can manage the categories that way. Now let's move on to the micro envelope budget. This is like your more traditional apps. You open it up on the right, top right, you'll see the summary again, and then you see all the groups or buckets. These are the same groups you found in the envelope, but you can budget for each category. You can go in, you can edit all of these categories just like the others. You can customize them, add new, and hide or delete if you go down to the bottom and manage the categories. Everything will be reflected in the summary up top. The fifth budgeting type is the 50-30-20. This is the 50% towards needs, 30% towards wants, 20% goes towards savings. The way this works, there's a summary on the top hand right, which you cannot edit, but you can enter in your income. Once you enter in your income, it's going to recommend how much you should put in those categories. So for example, my anticipated income is $5,000. So I enter that in, and then we go down to the must-have expenses. These are your needs. It's recommending 50% is $2,500. So I can go in and I can type 2,500, or if I'm going to put more towards that, I can type in whatever amount I want. Then I go to my nice to have. These are your wants. It's recommending 30% or 1,500% of my income. But I can edit. I can change the budget to whatever I want it to be. And then they have savings, which are created in your savings goals. But I can manually adjust each of my savings goals. This budgeting method will not let you add additional groups, but they do have an other group, so you can add some expenses in there if you have some that don't fit into those categories. Now let's talk about some of the additional budgeting features they offer. If you want to see everything that WalletHub can do, check out my video up there on my overall review of WalletHub and the different features that it has. Moving on to the transactions tab. Your transactions are automatically imported and categorized if you're using the premium version of WalletHub. Up at the top, you can search for specific transactions or filter to find a transaction. The transactions are going to appear by date, most recent date first. With each transaction, you will see the merchant, the category, and then those little triangles are whether it's a must-have or a nice-to-have. So a need or a want. Top triangle means it's a need, bottom triangle means it's a want, and then the amount. To recategorize, you simply click on a category and choose the category, or you can add a new category or edit the existing categories. That little circle with an arrow shows that it is a recurring transaction. You can manually add transactions by clicking the plus button. The reoccurring tab will show you your reoccurring subscriptions, your bills. Click on it for editing. You can edit the amount, date, how often. You can set reminders to get notified before the bill is due. You can also see your past payment history. There is also a trimmer tab, which will show you, I think this is the whole point, is to see where you can trim your spending. So it will show you spending this month to last month. It's going to show you your largest spending increases by category. So you can see where maybe you need to cut back, or it will also show you what you could get back on. These are your wants. In the report section, you can choose one of these types of reports. For this example, we'll do income and expenses. You choose what dates you want, and then you're going to run the report. It will show you a line chart, which is showing you your savings rate, which is simply your income after your expenses. So you have your income, subtract all of your expenses, whatever's left is your savings rate. Below that, there is a chart by the month showing you a total for each category for your income and your spending. It's going to give you a summary. So your total income minus your total expenses. Green means there's a surplus, red means you've overspent, and then below you can add in your goals. If you want to try it out to see how you like budgeting with WalletHub, use my link down below. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.